Hello, everyone, and thank you so much for joining me for another powerful Limitless Live. I'm Olga Binyaminov, and this month we are talking about love and relationships. Yesterday, I talked about something so important, which is um, the feminine and the masculine energy. Today, I want to talk about something that shows up in every romantic relationship, and that's the difference between men and women. Why do we sometimes feel so misunderstood? Why do arguments escalate over small things? And how can we bring the gap, not just to survive love, but to actually thrive in it? There is a science to it, and there's also a very deep energy that plays. And that I'm going to cover tomorrow when I'm going live with the amazing Gladys, a love coach who specializes in feminine and masculine energies. Trust me, you want to be there. But today, I just want to lay the foundation for that. There is a science behind the difference of men and women. Men and women are not broken versions of each other. They are biological, they are neurological, and they are emotional differences by design. Even if you look at the brain, the men's brain is structured for focus, for direction. Woman's brain is wired for emotional connections and multi-layered thinking. This means that we express, we listen, and we handle stress differently. But when we understand the science, we may be able to stop the blaming and we start building real connections. So let's start to uncover what we each need. Men crave for respect, appreciation, and a space to solve. Women, on the other hand, crave for emotional presence, for connection, and for empathy. So the problem is that we speak different emotional languages. And to solve this problem, we need to learn to translate. We need to respect in a way that feels like love to men. And we need presence that feels like love for women. And when both genders feel safe and seen, something powerful happens. There is a polarity in energies, and this brings us something so much deeper, something that you are going to hear about more tomorrow with Gladys and me. But just to kind of give you that once again, masculine and feminine energy goes way beyond gender. We all carry both. But in a relationship, polarity actually is the dance between the two. It creates spark, it creates attraction, it creates harmony. Feminine energy is more intuitive, it's more creative, it's more open, it's more receptive. Whereas masculine energy is more structured, it's more grounded, driven, protective. When both partners are in a masculine mode, that leads to power struggle. When both collapse into feminine mode, it leads to confusion. But when there's healthy polarity, that's when magic happens. So I don't want to go into much detail because that's for tomorrow. You will learn how to embody this energy, and whether you're single or dating or even in a long-term relationship, this is something you want to hear because, as I said, we both genders have the feminine and the masculine energy, and it's okay that this plays a role at one point or another for both genders. So let's come back to this tomorrow. But instead of seeing our differences as a problem, what if we saw them as an invitation? What if those differences would just let us know to slow down, to respond with curiosity instead of assumption, to soften into safety, or if you need to show up in strength. You basically want to have a thriving relationship, but it requires both awareness and alignment. And the more you know about yourself, the better you can love someone else. And that goes back to what I did last week, and we talked about self-love. Very incredibly important. If you cannot love yourself, you cannot give love to others. So I want you to be able to try it tonight before you listen to the live tomorrow. I want you to try it out and identify which energy are you operating from today. Every day could be different. Any circumstance could be different. But for today, try to pay attention. Are you operating from masculine or feminine energy? And then ask yourself, what would create more balance right now? Is it okay that you're doing it? Is it necessary for you to be in one energy or another? Would there be a difference if you would change from one energy to another? And if you are in a relationship, give your partner what they need most. Respect or emotional connection. Find out what they need. If that sparks something in you, definitely don't miss the live podcast tomorrow with the love coach Gladys Diaz. She's going to talk about the secret to have it all. How to be an unstoppable woman in your career and the irresistible woman in your love life. And the reason we're focusing on that is because when you are a business owner, a businesswoman, naturally you tune into your masculine energy. But how do you break that and separate it into this loving feminine energy when you're home? And it's the same for men. How do you enter the actual energy at every circumstance, and how are you able to give that love to your partner? We'll talk about how to embody your feminine without actually losing your edge. We'll talk about how polarities affect desire and connection, how to attract or reignite a relationship with deep alignment. And again, it doesn't matter if you're single, dating, or partner. This is a conversation that would absolutely be a game changer for you. What is one thing that you've learned about yourself in a relationship? Are you more in your feminine or masculine energy? Please share what you think. Share your thoughts, write to us, and I'm looking forward to have you all tomorrow at 11:30. Thank you.